Now I just gotta crawl back under the car, wedge this fucker back into place, get the bolt back in, put the diff back up in the air, put the bolts in the mount, and then it's done. What's going on, everyone? If you noticed, don't know if you did, sod is up in the air. What's up, Sig? So today we're going to be tackling the suspension a little bit. Going to be doing the front control arm bushings and the rear control arm bushings. But, like I said before, there's no point in replacing factory stuff with factory stuff to replace it again down the road, so we got a little something going in. So, for this upgrade, we're going with some PowerFlex Black Series bushings. So these are the race density bushings. We have the front lower rears, so those are the big donut looking ones. These are the fronts, and then these are all the rears for both sides. So that's going to be the plan. I actually took the liberty of WD-40ing everything last night before I started this process, because I figure everything's probably going to be pretty stiff in there. So yeah, just lubed everything up, and then now I'm gonna hopefully be able to take everything apart, because I don't really want to have to fight anything. I have some bad memories of breaking the bolt in my red Mark II a couple years ago. So hopefully it all comes apart and I don't have to do anything crazy. So I'm going to start with the sway bar. I'm going to do both sides just to make my life a bit easier. Hopefully. Probably have to get new bushings for this too. Didn't really think of that. Although, might just delete this front sway bar, because tend to want a little bit more looseness in the front end when you're on dirt. So, but there's one. I'll do the other side, come back. Okay, so I just did the driver's side sway bar end link. So now we're gonna grab a different socket. Alright, now hopefully these will come out without breaking. Yes. I'm just gonna loosen that one. Try to loosen the other one. Oh shit, alright. They came loose. Holy crap. I mean, car was in BC for a while, but... And then now I just got the ball joints. I'll take the bolts out and hopefully I can slide this control arm out of here. Now, I'm just going to try and zip these ball joint nuts out, or ball joint bolts out, and see if we can slide this arm out of here. The dog just freaked out a little bit. Oh. Pull this. Oh. Back you guys up and take all this forgot these things have the most insane fucking shocks in them. So, like I said, springs. So it may be a bit more difficult to try and just slide it out the normal way. There's just so much pressure being put down onto them, onto the ball joint. But everything is out. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it without taking the shock out. So, fuck. Okay, well, or at least disconnecting the spindle from the shock, just to move it out a bit more, just so I can get them out. I'll do that, see how it goes. As you can see, control arm is out. It's right here. And like I said, I had to take the shock bolts out to the spindle so I can move it out of the way enough, because these things are, I mean, look how tight those, look how fucking crazy those coils are. But yeah, so gonna do the other side, and then we'll get to some bushing stuff. Oh, and also, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of hard. Maybe this way. But anyway, that's the ball joint. So that's got to get replaced too. Like I said, I got to get this thing ready for safety, so it's pretty much anything that comes up that it needs, it's getting done. So we'll just tackle the other side, and then we'll get to the fun race car stuff. So, as you can probably see, it's a different day, but I did get both control arms out the other day, and I just went ahead and took the old bushings out ahead of time, because I figured, what the hell, I just used a little, I don't have a press here, so I just hammer in a chisel and some other stuff to get them out. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the Powerflex bushings in, those ones and those ones. So I always have a bit of a hard time with these this bushing with the poly because of the lips and stuff. So see how it goes. But yep, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. These will be simple, so I'll just focus on these. I'm gonna use this shitty little vise and see if I can just pop them through and then just push them the rest of the way through after. So see how that goes, and maybe I'll just time lapse it, or yeah, we'll see. Alright, so obviously I have a problem with filming and doing things. So bushings are in. This one, obviously, I think I just mentioned it before, was a pain in the ass. Literally had to use pieces of wood to fucking help push it through, but this thing is going to be rock solid now in the front end. So you got to put the big top, or like, it looks like a mushroom sort of, but the top of the mushroom has to go on the there's like a taper down where the big side goes, so it helps it from coming in and out. But I'll try and I'll try to remember to set up a time lapse on the next one. Won't be installing them tonight because I gotta get the ball joints tomorrow, but I'll see if I can get this one in, so I at least have them prepared for tomorrow when I get the ball joints, and I can put the front end back together. Well, both are done now. It was a bit of a struggle. I might put clips in of me struggling a little bit, but the one that I actually got it in went fairly good. But yeah, so both sides are done now. Now we just gotta wait for ball joints. So I'll continue that tomorrow when I pick them up. Well, it's been a little bit. Really like a week or 2 or 3 or something. Anyway, so I think last time I just filmed, I was getting the control arms back in. Yeah, I think. So anyway, sway bar is now done, or back on. I also went ahead and replaced the way too stiff Jeep springs with some B3 Passat VR6 ones. So those are on both sides now. I also did the rears. I have got brand new wagon rear springs from Rock Auto, and then these are Mark 1 shocks because it's the only thing that fits. Then I also got the rear control arm bushings done. And let me tell you, the driver's side was the biggest pain in my fucking ass ever. Literally, I don't want to get into it, but you see holes there. Air hammer, lots of heat. But yeah, both sides are done. That's got new shock and stuff. So suspension is finally all done. However, in the meantime of, you know, waiting to get shit done, I figured, well, what the fuck? I already have it up in the air. So now this is the rear diff rear bushing. So I took the bracket for the bushing. So again, I went ahead and ordered the PowerFlex Black Series bushing for the rear diff rear bushing. So 2 of those things plop in there. Bingo bango, super stiff rear end. So once I get that in, once I put the bushing in, I'll fire the bracket back in, bolt it all up. Then that's pretty much everything for the suspension. Finally. It's been a little bit. I mean, there's still some other stuff to do, but so yeah, all the stuff that I have is then done. And it's pretty much refreshed front to back, like ball joints, bushings, shocks, springs, everything's changed. So yeah. Well, there it is. Bushing is in. So nice and in there. So now I'm just gonna crawl back under the car, get that thing back into the bracket, the mount bracket, push the diff back up, bolt everything up, and then suspension and most of the shit is done for now. I got one more big thing that I'm working on, and that's almost done, which there's another video going on about it. But yeah, I'm gonna crawl back under, get this thing back in, get the diff back up, and finally be done with bushings. Okay, so after some messing around, I had to take some more stuff off to make things fit, but the bushing is in, diff is back installed, control arms are on, sway bar is on, everything is back together. So I still got some bushings to do, engine mount and tranny mount and stuff like that, but that'll come in time. This is the stuff that I just needed to get done so I could continue to work towards getting it safetied and put on the road. So, I mean, not the diff bushing, that wasn't need to be done, but you know, while it's here, I don't have to pull shit apart. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Sorry I didn't film most of the work, but I was fucking fighting to the bitter end on the rear control arms, so I was just working away. But yeah, anyway, we'll catch up on the next one. I got some other stuff going on with it, so yeah, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.